as you probably can see in the background, this is one of the first videos that Alex done for Fodder TV. And I'm looking down the screen here because I've got Glenwood in the house. I'm sure you can give a wave.
We're delayed.
Paul, I can't hear anything, so I'm hoping I'm going out live and everyone can hear me.
Yeah, we are live.
Everyone's smiling. Stocks of that because this is just what typically happens. There's always some kind of technical glitch or something. I've also got my daughter coming up in a few seconds, so I'm going to switch this guy now, guys. What's going on? I'm in the show, it says. I'm in the show.
I'm not sure if Ralph can hear us. Myself and Paul can hear each other, and we can hear Ralph. Yeah, Paul, can you introduce yourself quickly? Paul Bray from North Bank, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm Paul from in the North Bank. Was the host of the Big Sunday Show back in the day of Fodder TV. Yeah, really good times. So, yeah, looking forward to.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey!
It's alive. I was expecting. I thought it was going to be some kind of VAR kind of drama, kind of where we prove each other.
Guys,
I'm not sure if Ralph can hear everybody. I don't think he can. How are you, Altal? Can you hear us?
I'm good. I can hear you. I'm just wondering, should I go and get my Arsenal top? I think it would look better. I went out and bought the latest one a while ago.
I'll give you a few minutes. We are live, so we'll give you a few minutes.
Okay, I'll go upstairs, get it, and stick it on. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you in a minute. Yeah.
Cool, man. Okay. All right. So everybody in the chat, while we're waiting on Altal and on Ralph, there is a bit of a technical glitch with Ralph. I'm not sure if you can hear us now.
I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
This is just so difficult. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, there is a bit of delay.
I'm just saying that we've got 4 people. Yeah, sorry. Our first videos that Alex did, he was with his wife Sorelli, and Eltel joined in, and I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. I'm not sure. I can't remember the name of the guy, so I'm sorry. But it's one of the videos that we did on Fodder TV. And I'm trying to balance. I can just see on my screen, I seem to be like ducking in and out of the broadband or something. But can you guys hear me still? I'll tell you what I'll do. I will come out of this and go back into it. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm trying to another laptop.
All right, no worries. No
so
worries.
Bear with me a moment, guys. Sorry about this. Right, let's have a see what's going on here. Right, let's
that is fine. We will sort out Ralph's technicalities right now, and we've been joined with Vinci. How's it, Vinci?
I'm all good, brothers. All good, family. How are we doing?
How you doing?
Lovely, man. You obviously you know Paul. So yeah, Ralph is busy with sort of a throwback video behind him on a TV screen. There is a bit of a delay on his part, but in the meantime, I think, Paul, maybe you can share some of your experiences with the likes of Alex, how you guys met and what you guys share. What is your takeaway point from Alex's life that you obviously had with him?
Well, I take a lot of things. Obviously, he introduced me to this kind of world, this kind of chat about Arsenal. I'm on screen on my own. Is that I am live?
Yeah, no, that is because you're talking. So I'll
all right,
just
that's
give
all right.
you.
That's good. Yeah, I tried to go as small as I can, but he's made a lot of difference in a lot of people's lives. I think by giving people a voice to talk about a common subject, and that be Arsenal, whether or not you're in London, whether or not you're around the world, like yourself, Glenwyn. We've connected many people in and around the community discussing Arsenal, and like I said, gave an opportunity to kind of run a show and have a voice on the channel. So I take his positivity, I take his dedication to what he'd done. I think he's blessed many people. I think from what everyone will be talking about, certainly about his life. Obviously, being lucky enough to be at his funeral and listening to his friends, his family discussing his life. It shows that he has touched many people in and around with just his enthusiasm to do things and his drive to do well. So, yeah, much likable guy. Gone too soon, and yeah, another one up in the sky. So, yeah, rest in peace, Alex. But yeah, look, this is for you. This show.
Oh, thanks, man. Vinci, let's go to you. I mean, you've got a mouthful, obviously, and I've been with shows with you on Alex's shows. Very, very, very good content that we've made as a group. And yeah, let's hear from you. What is your actual take from the life that this beautiful soul has given us?
I think for me, Alex gave Arsenal fans a voice. He gave me a voice. I was honoured that he reached out and asked me to come onto his podcast at a time when I was struggling with my health challenges. I did not know that he was going through his, but what I always found with Alex, just watching his shows and being part of the show is the respect that he had for people, the way how he controlled and got everybody integrated in his show. It was it made it a welcoming place to be. Sometimes we can be tribal even or split within our Arsenal community as to our views, but it was such a very calm and fun environment to be on his show. And I've always found Alex to be a gentleman, and that's something that I respect. And it doesn't matter where you were in the world, he'd reach out and you always had a joke. You always, your opinions were valid. He used to tease me all the time about being the agent for
Martinelli's agent. Yes, I remember.
That's right. And when he wasn't doing well, he was asking me to make sure I have a word because he was costing us. And if it wasn't Martinelli, there was times when I used to change my my appearance, and I think he teased me one show of being like was it Thierry Henry, and it was
Yeah, fully.
we just had so much fun on this show. But I just respect the fact that his dedication to Arsenal, and I think I was much like how Paul said. I think it was a real honour to be at his funeral, to hear his family and friends speak, and just to pay our respect. And whilst I was there, I reflected hugely on his last show. And Glenn, I think if you remember the one that we had, how emotionally it was when he was, letting us know that this would be the last.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was, tears were there, and but just the enormity of understanding that he was going to step away and pivot. Little did we know where we would be today, here as a family, honoring his life. And he's a special giant amongst Arsenal fans. And I miss him. I just feel honoured to be here today. Honoured to, as Paul said, to see his family, to see faces that I haven't seen before, seen on show, and for us to continue his legacy. And I know it's painful. I found it difficult watching Arsenal games since his passing. And I know he would want us to, in some way, shape or form, find a way where we can have fun, celebrate him, and for us to get the job done. Not just one trophy, multiple this year. And my prayer is that the guys and the girls go out there and bring those trophies home. So love and respect to Alex, to his family, and guys, just keep on doing what you do with your own individual channels. You support each other. That's one thing that I definitely did get from Alex. He's a supporter of the community, man. The man's heart was just huge. Love and respect.
Yeah. So before we're gonna go further, I just wanna. There's somebody that has posted this, and I think we've missed the plot because we had a bit of a technicality. But this is what Alex always would have started a stream with: is good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Cannon Fodder TV, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. What a saying, man. And I think Ralph, you asked me, Ralph, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I've abandoned the top, and I've got on my phone.
You asked me if we could put something to that effect together for him just to be part of this, and unfortunately we couldn't because due to certain limitations. But I think this part has really captured that entry of a show. I mean, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to. That was just when I heard that. You know what? It was so nice to just hear that voice. Before we go to Altel, Ralph, do you wanted to continue with what did you wanted to say earlier?
Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties. I was hoping that I would get clean cut with Glenwood for about the past week, trying to get everything sorted. And then Alex was the main body, I would say, the body of the channel. It was both our ideas, but he was the one who did all the technical bits. My work is not like his work. I'm away and everything else. But he was. I say he was Mr. Cannon Fodder. I think someone did say to me, he's Mr. Cannon Fodder, and his wife Sorelli, Mrs. Cannon Fodder. First and foremost, thank you very much, guys, for turning up. I am deeply humbled by the fact that this channel that we started about 7 years ago, was mainly because there's been a lot of clamour. There's been a lot of clamour with other channels, and we just want to be that bit different. We just want to keep it like honest, challenging, have some fun. Of course, there's lots of other channels there that's all swearing and everything, but the main criteria for us was the fact that we want to keep it respectful. So I watch it, and she's a big Arsenal fan. God rest her. And we did that. And Alex, to his credit, he went to a few of the games, spoke to many people like yourselves, and I am so proud of him. I do want to. Yeah, he was a really standing soul, and I think we connected with so many people, and that's what we wanted to do. We made friends, not just here, which is easy online, but Colombia, Africa, America. I didn't think we get that big. So thank you.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a tough time for your family, but we keep you in our prayers, Ralph, Sorelli, and the rest of the family. Yeah, we all glad to be part of his life, your life, the family's life. You all shared Alex with us, and it's a sad moment to have seen him gone. I didn't physically shook hands with Alex and all of you guys, but having got to know this, it's because of Alex that I'm sitting in this sort of platform today. And before I'm going to continue with what I wanted to say, we're going to give Altal that sort of platform as well, because Altal was very close with him as well. So Altal, you continue.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I met Alex. I was teaching in a school in North London, and Alex came in as a teaching assistant. He was absolutely wonderful with special needs kids and so on, and we got on straight away. And I was knocked out by how wonderful Alex was with children that an awful lot of staff couldn't cope with. These kids were so damaged and so difficult and in such turbulent sort of spirits, you know. And Alex had this wonderful quality to just reach out to them and calm them down and make them feel better about themselves and others around them. And I remember he came into, I was a music teacher there, and he came into the music room one day and he was looking for some red Arsenal headphones he'd lost. And we were chatting away, you know, and he mentioned Arsenal. So we obviously were both fans of Arsenal. Then I said, well, where did you grow up? He said, Islington. And I said, well, so did I. And he went to Thornhill School, and I said, oh, I know that school, you know, and we carried on like that, you know. And then we spoke about our dads, you know. I said, well, my dad worked for Islington Council. And he said, well, my dad was knocking about around about that time. And just silly little things like he'd say, what was your dad's favourite thing for lunch? I said, oh, my dad loved the corned beef sandwich. And he said, so did my dad, you know. And we used to joke. And it's quite possible that the two of them met at some point. So the friendship grew and grew. But there was no cannon fodder at that time. And I guess we'd meet after school in my room and have a chin wag and a chat about different things, or maybe at lunchtimes, you know, that kind of stuff. And gradually, the idea of Cannon Fodder TV, or Arsenal Republic, I think he called it at the very beginning, and then Cannon Fodder TV. And the site manager, Simon, said he'd do the first program. So it was the first match of the season, I think, when Arsene Wenger had just left. I remember rightly. So Unai must have just taken over. And, it's in August and everything. And we turned up by the Tony Adams statue. Sorelli was doing the filming, and she was attaching lapel microphones to us. And Simon and Alex were already talking, and they're big 6-foot+ guys. And Terry Eltel goes up between them. All right, boys. And you can get it online, and you can see us all laughing and joking and enjoying each other's company, And over the years, I mean, I had a great affinity to him. Number one, I respected him and what he could do with youngsters, and so many stories he told me. Maybe when we have this show again, I can go into some of them. How he really, really gave hope to some of these young people. And when I met Sorelli and Ralph and Shanice and a few of the family, a few days before the funeral, we spoke. Father David came over, and we spoke. And I said he was the priest that officiated at the funeral in the church, and I was saying, Father, Alex was the kind of man, he didn't leave his Catholicism or his Christianity or his kindness behind when he left through the doors of the church. He very much carried it like a crusader. He carried it through into his life. And I think one of the things I noticed about him was he really didn't like unfairness. If he felt there was unfairness and a lack of love and a lack of kindness going on, it kind of upset him and rankled him. And another little thing that he said, he said, when we do our shows, he said, Terry, he said, I want that if my mum listens in, because I knew his mum, and I think I might have played at his mum's birthday party and stuff, because they knew I did music, and we all love music, And he said, I want, if my mum goes on the show, I want her to be proud of us, to be proud of me and Ralph, and and he didn't want any people being rude to each other or disrespectful. And he carried that through into his life. And he was, the sad thing sometimes I think is when someone's gone, you suddenly look back and you put together all your memories, and you think, this guy was really special. I knew he was at the time, but looking back, he was even more special than I kind of realized. And his shows were an absolute delight. Now, we have had a spin-off because Tim came on a few times. Tim Hogan might be watching this over there in Scariff in County Clare in Ireland. And Tim came on a few times, and then Tim said to me when I was in Ireland, well, why don't we've got a local radio station that we all volunteer for to help. Why don't we do our own version, and we'll call it Fever Pitch. It's a bit longer than that, but let's call it for short Fever Pitch. And we did that, and we ended up, getting some of the people that were on Alex's show to come along. We interviewed Peter Marinello, we interviewed Brian McDermott, and we even went to the Brussels Parliament last year and did a show from there. None of that would have happened without me bumping into Alex at school, and then Ralph, and then the whole family of Cannon Fodder people that sort of came through. And I was saying to Tim online earlier, our fondness for Alex will be something we carry for all of our lives till the end of each of our days. We were so fond of this guy, so fond.
Thanks, Eltal. Guys, we obviously want to give quite a few people also a chance to come inside. Vinci suggested he can go off, but Vinci, you want to say your last say before we can allow somebody else in?
Yeah, I'll just say, just to, what we started with the back five show. It would be nice to, if we can come together before the end of the season and to continue that. and just to continue what Alex has started. Alex will always be in our hearts, and it's a very tough time for us as fans, and especially for Ralph and the family. But yeah, he's inspired us to do great things. Some of us are achieving things that we never thought we were able to do, and that's because he's given us this platform. And that's something that I'm going to continue as best as I can do with my health challenges, because Alex gave me that platform. So I just thank you all for being here today and to honouring his life. The family in the chat for your messages, keep them coming. And yeah, I'm gonna go in the chat and allow somebody else to come in and just share how special Alex was to him or her. Stay blessed, guys, and hopefully we can be on a show together or either see you down at the Arsenal at some stage.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vinci. Thank you on behalf of the family, and I'm sure Ralph really appreciate everybody that's in the chat. Thanks for your contribution to Alex's life as well. Thank you.
Bless you guys. Take care.
Before we go further, Ralph, I wanna do something, and this is what Alex also. I think there was a show. I wasn't part of the show, but I think it was you and it was an Altal. But the funny hats. Remember that show?
I do.
It was fun, funniest. I think it was an easy talk, and he had a hotel. I'm sorry if I don't remember two of the other guys on there, but just everyone swapping hats. It was so funny.
It was a fun show. Yeah. I watched that show, and then I saw Altal switched hats in between the show, like 2 or 3 hats he swapped. Yeah.
I tell you what made it. Every time he came back to me, I had a different hat on, and Alex was roaring with laughter. You know, it was mad. You know, and there was one other show. We had a fella. What was his name? He had a name like his name wasn't Comfort, but it was one of those type of African names. I think he was a pastor or something, and he ran choirs. And I thought he looked as if he was in a nuclear submarine. Do you remember that one? He had like a metal ladder behind him and like a bunk bed. And I said to him, "Are you in the nuclear sub under the polar ice cap?" And it just, the humour just kept going. You know, it's brilliant.
Yeah, that was nice.
Prosper. That was his name. Prosper.
Yeah. Paul, you wanted to say something before you wanted to also go into the chat?
Yeah, I'm going to dip off and get involved, allow someone else to come in. Yeah, I was lucky as well to share a night with his idol. Obviously, Alex going all the way to Potter's Bar and Chippy's night. And yeah, it was a really good evening. Really insightful. And it was nice to just kind of almost catch up with him briefly because of the time and stuff afterwards. But as I say, it's one of those where you kind of you have a chance meeting and you don't always see everyone face to face. We're not always savvy to kind of go to Arsenal and see each other, but to actually meet in face, I thought it was really good, nice, and yeah, put a face to, like, I mean, you can see us here, but actually in person it is so much different. And yeah, no, it was really good to kind of shared 2-3 hours kind of alongside him with his idol, and how good must it have been for him as well, just to have actually experienced that as well, because I think he was pretty close to the stage as well. So he'd have had a really good moment with him, and as I said, it's a real good experience, and I'm glad his life. You know what I mean? At least he could say he'd shared an evening with his idol. You know, we'd want him obviously to have seen Arsenal win the quadruple, but look, mate, it's an unfair world, but he's up there somewhere now, cheering us on, sitting in his armchair up there, and he's looking down and coming out with all of his general phrases. The one we've obviously had on for the start. Always, it will always stick with you. But then, the segments and the hands were always the one, weren't it? Is he there? Is he there? Or is he going to have his little segment? Yeah. And like I said, all those little things, and like, the segment, the segments of this, short, sharp. I think was another one of his phrases, wasn't it? Just as he'd kind of go on and do stuff. But as I say, really good to have seen Chippy with him. And thanks for having us on. And hope, hear a few more stories as we go. All right.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, John, mate. It's been great. You're doing his brother proud, yeah? Well done. Keep going.
Thank you. So we've been blessed by Tim Hogan. Tim, welcome to the stream. Ralph, you wanted to say something before we go to Tim?
Sorry.
Ralph.
Me? No. I just said, it's Tim. I just saw Tim in the bottom.
Tim, stick on a light there. Are you working down in the?
Hi, Ralph.
Look,
I sound like but it's the first time I've seen you actually. So my condolences anyway first on the loss of Ali. He was a lovely man, and he was obviously give us all a great kind of outlet to voice our opinions. And I think it was very. I just have to speak my own experience, obviously. And I, as Linwin and Terry would have a kind of maybe have I suppose I'm an Arsenal supporter, but I would also be having kind of an eye on the Premier League as a whole, because for us in Ireland, we were reared with watching not only Arsenal but Liverpool and United, kind of maybe Chelsea in more recent times. And Alex was always very accommodating of people that had a broader view, and he was also, Joe, if you had an opinion that didn't maybe fit with the media of the day, he let you voice it. Joe, I was always interested in tactics and coaching and things like that, and Alex was brilliant that way. Look, the most important thing about Alex is, beyond all of that, is that he was a very kind, tolerant, engaging, funny, just a great person to be around. And I was with myself and John and Terry. We did that live show, I remember, in North London, and he was just so nice and so great. And he was like, I often think of his famous introduction, Joe, to Arsenal fans all over the world, and that was his outlook. He saw football for what it's meant to be. It was the game of the people. It's played, be it Buenos Aires or be it, let's say, Glenn was obviously on from Cape Town. We all had great memories of tournaments like the World Cup in Japan and South Korea. Obviously, the Irish people have always great memories about Italy and in America, and all that, where you could watch stars that played for, be it Arsenal, be it the Manchester clubs, the Liverpool clubs, but you were to see them on a world stage. And of course, Arsenal then, in the time, the famous French Revolution, I was actually today they were talking about Valverde's hat-trick for Real Madrid, and someone read this was a European thing, it was nothing to do with Arsenal, and someone said, it wasn't a patch on Dennis Bergkamp's in Filbert Street. So in other words, like, Arsenal were a kind of a North London club made up of, I suppose, immigrants. Terry would fit you in there, and that a lot of immigrant families, representative Irish people, but then it became a global phenomenon, and it was people like the Bergkamps arrived, obviously Thierry Henry, but then you had people like Laurent from Cameroon, Gilberto Silva was Brazilian, so it became like a gigantic, even that Tomiyasu there in recent times was Japan, and Aubameyang was, so he, I think, was very good to tie the local North London thing in with this global model, and like I said, he really was a great voice for Arsenal well, not Arsenal people and football people in general, a great voice for them to express. And he loved football. Like, he really loved football, because he'd often talk about Fulham, and he was kind of a great guy that way. And I often feel like that, hopefully, and I saw the tributes from Peter and Paul Marinello, and I think, like, Arsenal now are going for this famous quadruple, which I still feel is still on, even though they're, let's say, they've to, like, Bayer Leverkusen will be a tough enough challenge, but I still feel that. But I think for people like Alex, and I say everyone on this platform, it's all about winning cups, be it League Cups, FA Cups. Obviously, the big title is the league, but, like, for people like Alex, he grew up in that scenario, watched great Arsenal teams, was a big fan of of Liam Brady and all those from the 70s right up, I suppose, to then, the famous, his first show we watched the other night was from the Tony Adams statue, and then obviously he remembers the great Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, and on and on and on. So he had an encyclopedic knowledge of football, and particularly Arsenal football. But most of all, I'd just like to reiterate what I said at the beginning. He was a very kind, tolerant, engaging, humorous, and just a great fella to be around. Is my thoughts, and will the thoughts that I will carry forward from my encounters with Alex. So sorry now for hogging the spotlight a bit there, Ralph, but Glenwyn, Terry, great to see you. Sure, we'll have Glenwyn. Actually, that's another thing I should say. We're on a show, obviously, a Premier League show once a month, based in Ireland, obviously. But that show would not take place only for Alex. He put himself, and we had James on. You're sure we've had Glenwyn and Terry are permanent fixtures on it, and we've had people like Des was on. We've had the Marinellos on. So we've had a lot of people on. John had actually been on, and of course Alex himself was on. But through the years, so we've had a lot of people. Alex was so open and so giving and so he encouraged us, and I think he liked the idea of some lads in rural, Terry will tell you, where we're from is quite rural. It's quite west of Ireland, and lads they're all about the Premier League from September to pretty much April and maybe even May. But then they all take out their sticks, and for June, July, and August, lads go to war with a game called hurling. So it's so Alex, I think, liked the idea that the Premier League, that North London could be representative of a rural community, County Clare. Of course, we have our famous, North London ambassador there in the top right-hand corner, El Tel himself. But sorry there for going on, Ralph. I just wanted to get my point across. I just wanted to be as respectful. And look, Alex was such a nice fella, and he gave so much of himself to this platform. It cannot be quantified, really. So look, I wish you well, and my sympathies to obviously yourself, Sorelli, and all of Alex. So we are his friends, but family is family. And look, at the end of the day, you'll be the ones that felt the loss the most. And I look to Terry. I was on Terry, obviously they're talking on a daily basis, and so as I would expect, it was a very deep loss for you, and I would expect nothing else, because he was such a kind person and such an accommodating individual. Sorry now for hogging the spotlight there. I'll let it back to someone else there now. Sorry. Okay. So thanks, Glenwyn. I'll try to hang on here for a minute.
Thank you.
Sorry, Brad, just to finish, I'm sitting in a car park here now in Limerick train station, and this is the city that gave Sam Allardyce his first ever managerial job. And so when he's made the Spurs manager say Monday morning, you'll say, well, that was his first, and probably North London will be his last.
Good man, Tim.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Tim.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I wanna talk about the Easy Talk, an elite show for Alex, and I think, Ralph, you can also agree with me. This was one of the best shows that you guys created on the Canon Fodder. I mean, the Easy Talk was the show that everybody wanted to be a part of, and only, if I could maybe select people that could go onto the show. Alex were very particular with this particular show because this was his elite show. Can you can you maybe just say what came about in his mind and your mind to create this show, the Easy Talk? What was the thought pattern behind that?
My honest belief with was that it had to be honest, critical, not too biased, but opinionated. And I thought that I was going to be like a shoe-in for that for these people, but he wouldn't have any of it. You have to earn your stripes to be, and I think that's what made it so special. There was one East where he had Indian Guna, he had Glenn from New York, he had Mube Guna, and one other guy from South America, and everyone had their own perspective on Arsenal. It was respectful, but I would say it used it educated, and I think that's why everybody liked going on. Alex was great with his segment in the week, and I was in with my bit latterly. But you know, we are not trying to compete, but we want to stand out from everybody else. Nobody else. But I can honestly say that with the Easy Talk was you had to earn your stripes, you had to know what you're talking about, and even if you came in with a set of principles, it did leave you with learning a bit more from one or so for me it was really hard to when you got onto my credit. It wasn't just the airtime. I think Alex wanted to make as specialized platform. Glenwyn, with your site, I will tell with his well, with so many other people joining in, but Easy was by far, I would say, pretty much jewel in the ground.
Yeah, that was a very elite show for me. And then you know what? Before we're gonna go to Altal, just to expand on what his liking of the show was, is that the Sunday morning shows between you, Ralph, and Alex, where you had I think a weekend roundup on certain things on a Sunday morning. Remember those shows? Just the two of you, where you guys catch up, and that was also very as a bond for the two of you and how you sort of articulate each other's a mental capacity about where you guys went to Highbury as young boys with your father and that sort of thing. You brought all those memories as your kids, your life as kids, as Arsenal fans, and that's the show that's probably that stood out for me as when I watched Cannon Fodder and again, like everybody has been saying, it is so phenomenal to have seen what Alex done on this platform alone. I mean, you guys have met him personally. Altal, other people has met him personally, and how much more impact he had on a personal level. But on this particular platform, I'm sure everybody. I mean, look at the messages on the chat. I probably couldn't put every message on there, but yeah, that is a very good show for me. I mean, it brought out the history between the two of you as brothers, and I will cherish that for always. Altal, you're part of. I think you had something to say about your first show that you came on as a friend of Alex and as a Cannon Fodder family member. There was also another part of the Cannon Fodder that you liked. I liked about you is all your stories about the past. And Alex, he could sit with his mouth open to listen to your teachings of the old Arsenal folk. Can you elaborate on what impact that gave Alex as
Yeah.
an older fella?
Yeah, our friendship was one where the more we kind of knew each other, the more it rhymed. You know, like we both grew up in Islington, and then I said to him, "What school did you go to?" Highbury Grove. I said, "Well, I went to Highbury Grove," and of course Ralph went to Highbury Grove. So the more I got to know about him, everything chimed, everything rhymed, you know. And he had this wonder. I think I mean, he had a velvet voice. Listen, he had. If the world was a fair world, and it isn't, but if the world was a fair world with that velvet voice and that wonderful manner, he should have been on the BBC or Sky News or whatever. He had all the talent, but of course the world doesn't work like that. And he had this thing about naming people. Now he called me Eltel. Wonderful, I love it. And then he called me the original Godfather. It's brilliant, and it's also gentle. It's not Mickey taking. It's just a very gentle. And he called myself and Tim the H men after a while.
The twin.
The twins, the terrible twins, and he just had this wonderful, gentle way. Yeah, it was. I can't. It was just lovely, and you know, he called Des the Enforcer, and somebody else got another name, and it was just. But it was always gentle and always kind. I think that just came through the constant kindness, you know. And I'm so pleased to say I got to know Alex's, obviously Ralph, really well, and Alex's mother. I got to know her very well, and the whole family, you know. And I'm not going to start crying now, but Ralph said to me there, I think it was in the church, he said, listen, you're part of the family, mate. You're part of the family. And it really got me, you know, because that's the kind of people that Ralph and Alex are and represented. Goodness, pure goodness all the way through. Even as we were saying, when some people got a bit, what we call in Cockney land, a little bit kind of leery, and some of their comments were a little bit unfair and combative, you know, Alex would find a way of not having that again. He'd make sure that, lads, listen, we're not here to have a dig at each other. And he always kept it upbeat. He always wanted people watching, listening, to go away with their spirits lifted. That was the thing about the man. He lifted your spirits, always lifted our spirits. And that's what I take away. And the great news thing is, hopefully Ralph will be able to look back through the past shows and maybe republish the funny. I mean, that hat one was one. But there were plenty. I remember once we met James Rowe at St Pancras. He'd just come in on the Eurostar, and they have pianos there. And Alex said, you play piano? I said, yeah. So he said, can you play that North London Forever? I went, yeah. And he loved it. I played away and sang it. And he made a lovely, generous, warm comment afterwards. Congratulations, sir, or something. And it was so warm, and I felt $1 million. He made me feel $1 million, and I think he made a lot of people feel $1 million. And there's very few people I've ever met in this life that make you feel that good.
If I can also just step in a bit with what Hotel says, and it's fantastic sentiments there. When you talk about the Sunday, I think we put Sunday like that. That just came by accident because I saw some time on a Sunday. One of my shifts, I didn't fill my. So I said to Alex, if you're going to do a segment, do you want me to join in? He goes, yeah, come and join in. And it just with Alex made. I'm still learning about how to do certain things. I can present and But when we did Sunday brunch, it just kind of morphed because it was mainly about, from a personal level, about the match the day after. But not insulting. It was at one time, I think we were kind of like, I wouldn't say heated, but we had very strong views about, because he would say one thing, I would say something else, but we both respectful. I hope that that's what came through on this platform. The fact that it doesn't matter about if you want Arteta in or if you want Arteta out. We spoke about Emery at one stage as well. They were all honest views. There was or anything. It's just we also did I don't think we posted because we did Ivory.
I think Ralph, there is a bit of a break in your network because you get you fade away and the sound goes away as well. I'm
Maybe
not sure what is.
Yes. Because that's been there, the local school. Now that the way that the world has gotten smaller, that we have got
Yeah, I think Ralph. There's something wrong again with Ralph's network.
I think.
Yeah. Glenwyn, you've just reminded me of something that came up on the shows a few times. When it got a bit flaky and we couldn't quite hear what somebody was saying, Tim will tell you this. If you're in Ireland, where Tim and I are, you're not far from the Atlantic Ocean. There's no light pollution. And on a summer's evening, you get the most wonderful star view. You see all the stars in the sky. And you see the International Space Station go over because it's in a lower orbit. So it moves across the sky, across the field of stars. And every now and again, when we get a dodgy line, I used to, because my wife's dad used to go, look at that. That's the International Space Station. That's why our tellies are going wrong. Or he'd have some comment like that, you know. So I started using that on Alex's show when some fella was trying to contact us from some part of Nigeria or somewhere. I'd go, oh, don't worry. Once the International Space Station passes over, you'll be fine again.
Yeah, I remember it was either Prosper or it was either Isaac. Prosper or Isaac, one of the two, yeah. It was either. But yeah, that was fun times, man. There's so many people in the chat, and it just shows you what sort of impact Alex had on this platform. Ange, the first lady, she also had a Thursday night show with Alex, whereby they spoke of the female, the women football. I mean, he wanted to incorporate the academy on Canon Fodder. There's so many people that he impacted on this platform. And just to give you a bit of a background why and how I met Alex, on this platform is that being in Cape Town, obviously, in South Africa, I've watched Arsenal for a long time, probably just the early 80s. I'm still very young, although I'm over over a certain age, and I in the COVID era. An old friend of mine stayed in London and he came back to South Africa and he told me about Cannon Fodder and he told me about AFTV and other few channels on YouTube that was big because he's a Liverpool fan, although because he knew I was an Arsenal fan and he wanted to sort of introduce me to this platform. And then I watched Cannon Fodder one night and Alex then put this slide on, but not with that email address. It was a different email address, and he said, if you want to come onto the show, you can contact us on so and so email. And eventually, I sent him an email and asked him questions, and he reached back to me. And I mean, on many occasions, I've sent emails to other platforms as well, but this particular person called Alex, he sent an email back to me. He said to me, you can come on, we can have a chat and so forth. And then the one night he invited me on the show. I mean, beforehand, obviously explained to me what's the story via WhatsApp and then invite me on the show. And I enjoyed it. I think it was a post-match show that he did. And I think Alex did 2 or 3 shows on a day in COVID time. And then he sort of explained to me what is this about, and eventually I came on to the Easy Talk. He said, "Brother Glenwyn, you want to come on to the Easy Talk on this Friday night?" And that's how Alex talked. And and I said, "Yeah, man." And it felt like a new toy to me to come on this platform and talk about football. And I love football. I like talking about Arsenal. And there's this one day he told me, and I'm not sure if Sorelli is watching, but he said to me, my wife said, you've got a nice voice. You should, I'm not sure if she told him I must be part of a YouTube channel, but that's all I heard. He said that my wife said that you've got a nice voice. It looks like you want to take my job on this platform. And we laughed about it. And eventually he said to me, Glendon, why don't you start your own channel? And I thought about it, and I spoke to my wife, and he said to me eventually, I will help you to set it up, and I will guide you here and there. And eventually I said, okay, fine. You convinced me. You the bug bit me, and then Guna Matters was birthed. And Alex was my mentor on this platform. And when I had my launch show, I mean, Althal, you and Tim was on my show a few times as well. I had the Enforcer on my show. I had John on my show, Ange, and I eventually Alex and a couple of other people was on my shows locally. And it's because of him and his love for people and the fact that we can talk about the same things that we have in common, i.e., Arsenal and football and the Cronkies. And Arsenal, I wanted the Cronkies out there. I mean, I remember he went to the Emirates when there was this protest. Remember, there was this protest for the league. And Alex went there and he made live shows on Cannon Fodder about the protesting and that sort of thing. And he was very adamant that he's not going to buy a new Arsenal kit or any Arsenal kit for that matter because he wanted the Cronkies out. He didn't want to pay money that will sort of give more millions to the Cronkies. And yeah, I mean, what a great guy. And I've come to know Ralph on the show. We've done a couple of shows together, and then Alex was so genuine for my show or my channel to grow. He suggested, Glenwyn, why don't we do shows simultaneously streaming with Cannon Fodder and Gunnar Matters? Then He did that, and then there was an opportunity that he gave me to record a video, and then he will edit the video. He will play it on his show, and he will then also send me the edited version, and then I can put it on my show. And that is how Alex helped people across this platform. And what a guy, what a soul, what a blessing. And he never wanted to have things just for himself. He wanted people to become part of a family. And and what a family it is. Canon Fodder family, Canon Fodder TV. I remember he explained to us where this name stems from, but I don't think there's going to be enough time for that. Ralph mentioned that there's going to be a couple of more shows, but we will wait on him.
Depends how hungry you are.
But yeah, that is how Alex obviously impacted my life, and that's how he sort of brought me into the YouTube scene. So yeah, I mean, rest in peace, Alex, and I hope your family will be very, very comfortable with all sorts of thoughts from ourselves. What a guy. Tim, back to you, man. Anything else?
I'd just like to say, and look, I'm like I said, it's a very stop-start signal here in Ireland. But I'd just like to say, I'm just repeating what you just said, but I think it's well worth repeating. That Alex was just a genuine fella. He gave it his all. He really kind of brought a community together. I think another thing which hasn't, as Rose mentioned, but a lot of us maybe during COVID, when football was, as Jurgen Klopp described it, the most important of the unimportant things. But it was a social outlet. We were able to meet people when matches. There was no opportunity to go in any other really outlet. So you were able to watch matches, and then you could discuss the games with Alex. And he was very accommodating, and he loved people like to have an opinion, and he loved actually challenging people on their opinion. In other words, to justify your opinion, which I always felt was a very, very kind of key aspect of his style of presenting, because he did have a great style. Like he had a great style, and you know, I don't know if anyone mentioned it, but he had a beautiful voice. So he was so. Firstly, what he said was. Okay, there we go.
I think that's the International Space Station going over again.
Yeah. So Terry, we have to say that firstly he ran a very fair show, but also he ran it professionally, and his own delivery and his own means of articulating a point. He was extremely professional. So that's the way I would always like to remember Alex. And he was a consummate professional, while also being very kind of accommodating. And I think he loved having new people on as well. He loved having people on that would kind of bring their own perspective and their own thing. And I often say, well, I was on with yourself and obviously Terry, but I was on with people from Colombia, people from New York, people from all over the world. It was just a brilliant experience, and I'm so sad to show such a lot. And he's young, very young. Jeep is so young to pass away. It was unbelievable, really.
Yeah, there was Alfie, there was Jonathan, there was I can't remember that guy from Jamaica. There was quite a few people, and I mean, it just shows you. Carl is saying it just shows you how kind Alex was, and that's so true. And I mean, so much thought has gone into how Alex wanted to sort of have this platform erupt in the world and everybody just to be a part of. And I think if Alex could have a studio, I think that would have probably been possible if you could have that studio where everybody can just fit into that studio. And I think that would probably be something that we wanted to do. I don't know. But yeah, that was the kind of guy he was. I'm not sure where that noise coming from. I think
there's a lot of feedback, guys.
Yeah, somebody, Tim, I think the brakes on your car are giving out.
I should have tried to Spain. Look, I'm glad to see you back, Raz. Raz, would you please, again, my deepest sympathies, Raz. And it was, like I said, if you're, I always love being on, and Terry, of course, will keep you in the loop anyway. But so thanks for the opportunity to speak this evening. I really enjoyed it, and look, we'll keep in contact. And I think you have a great friend there in Terry, and I'd say a person that will be. You know, it's a very difficult time now for you for the next couple of months and even couple of years at the moment. And so again, my sympathy. Hopefully, we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Thanks, Tim. Lovely hearing you. And of course, we're on again tomorrow night.
We're on tomorrow evening, so we'll talk then anyway. Raz,
yeah,
my sympathy. Talk to you, Raz, and see you, Linman. Talk to you, Linman. Bye.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Bye. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Yeah, Jonathan says here that there's Alric and Daniel from Costa Rica, Alfie, Jose, and him himself from Colombia, Arsenal. I mean, there's so many people that network with Cannon Fodder, and it's amazing how much people are new. Jonathan came onto my channel as well a few times. And I've also reached out to Jonathan. He's in office in a meeting, so I think he would have loved to say something, but unfortunately everybody can't make it. But yeah, Ralph, I'm not sure if there's anything that you wanted to continue with.
I don't think he can hear you, can he? Ralph, can you hear us?
Yeah, I don't think
Ralph can hear us. Do you know, I really hope that from time to time, Ralph does more of these shows, you know, sort of a revival of Cannon Fodder TV, because, you know, Alex would love the community of friends that have, the fact that we've all gathered again. This could happen. You know, it didn't be every week or whatever, but from time to time, it would be wonderful to sort of gather together again, talk about Alex, talk about the current Arsenal team, you know, the usual thing, but always bearing in mind that none of us would have got together without our dear friend Alex.
Yeah, Ralph did mention that he's gonna look at how he can go forth with the channel. We're gonna wait on him. He's gonna be the one to inform us what to do. We will just see what's happening there going forward. Ralph,
okay.
Sorry, Glenn, bear me a moment longer. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and join you via my phone again, because it's the Wi-Fi is as shocking as always. So
Carl is giving it large over there in, what is it, down in Kent, Maidstone or somewhere he's living.
I seem to be. For a moment, yeah, two of me. Okay. I think you said about me doing some more content.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now we've got.
I'd love it. There you go. We could just fit it in around your timetable, Ralph. You know, whenever you can do it.
Whenever you can, and or if you want.
Oh, he's gone again. Yeah.
I think there's some issues there, but look, we'll reach out to Ralph. Obviously, in his time, he can come and schedule something with us, and then I'm sure there's quite a few people that want to continue and keep the legacy of Alex. As John rightfully say, Alex's legacy is he made being kind on social media fashionable, and that is a very bold statement and true. He made everything fashionable according to what he wanted those people to feel. And what a host! There's nothing better than a host
Guys,
making
can
you
you hear
feel
me?
welcome.
Yeah, we have you. We have you,
I can't hear
Ralph.
you.
Can you not hear us? Hello? Hello? If I open the window, you'll probably hear me. Hang on.
I can't hear a word.
Can you hear us?
If I did that,
I'll play your song. Hang on.
and that.
No?
I've got two of me on here.
He's got two now.
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, there you go.
But it's quite echoey.
It's very dark in that room. Switch on a light.
You must switch on your camera. You must switch on your camera, Ralph.
Is he in a nuclear sub? He's down at the bottom of the ocean there.
Yeah, that's what you said about Prosper or Isaac as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, that's nice.
Are you there, Ralph?
Can you hear us, Ralph?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Ralph. Yeah. Yeah.
I can hear you.
Can you hear us now? You want to bring the submarine into port?
Because
hello.
I can't hear anybody else. That's the thing.
Who can you hear? Can you hear anybody?
I'm going to knock that hustle.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what is the story with Ralph's network.
Yeah. If he gets nearer to the network, it'll give a stronger system, a stronger signal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of I'll tell. There was a question from somebody here for you. I just want to find that one quickly. Yes, Terry. When did the gig at the Guna pub that was so good? I don't know what John means by that, but I think you guys.
Oh well, listen. I can tell you when we played. It was after. Do you remember the final we played out there in? Was it Azerbaijan against Chelsea? Was it Azerbaijan, one of the Russian republics? And I'd gone into the Gunners pub to watch the match, and I'd got there early. And then Alex was texting me, and he said, "I'm stuck outside, and the fella isn't letting in any more people." He's an Irish guy. So I went up to this guy on the door that seemed to be the manager, and I said, "Look, there's two of my mates outside. Can they come in?" And he went, "Oh, all right then." And he let in Alex and Ralph. So that's how we kind of got to know the people in the Gunners pub. And then there was a lady there who we got to know very well, and Alex had spoken to her a few times, and she agreed to let us do a show because they have a stage in the pub. They have a stage where they have live music, and they had all the microphones set up. So straight after one of the Arsenal matches, Tim was over at the time. He might remember what match it was. It was straight after a match anyway. So it's Tim, me, John and Alex. It must have been Sorelli doing the videoing. Yeah, it was good, but I can't. It was a good while ago, and it was after, but it was definitely after that Chelsea final, because that was the first day that I'd met the guy, people running the place. So it might have been the season after that, if anybody can look back and figure out, because it was an unhappy final. Eden Hazard played a blinder. In fact, he never played well again. That was his swan song. After that, he didn't play. He vanished without trace. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I saw a picture of that particular show where you guys were on the stage.
I think you
and
can
I think
hear
it was
me and
4
see
or
me.
5 of you. Yeah, I saw something like that.
Can you hear us, Ralph? Can you hear us, Ralph?
I can see you guys and hear you, but I'm using. I was using just bouncing off.
Yeah, we're only
Wi-Fi.
getting the odd word coming through. Yeah.
So
Put up the periscope and up periscope.
do we have any more guests coming on, Glenn Wynn?
Yeah, no, nobody's coming on. A couple of guys are struggling to come in on the stream. But no, nobody's coming on anymore.
Well, look, there's no reason, as I said earlier, that we
I'll
can't
tell you what.
do
How
this
about
again.
if we wrap this up?
All right, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again. I will update my tech skills. Glenn's been fantastic with the tech stuff as well, and Paul as well. So I'll up my game a little bit. After but what I would like to say to everyone who's joined on this platform and saw me blub a little bit. I just want to say my continuing thanks to my family. Thank you, everyone, each and every one of you for your condolences. We had a Liverpool fan turn up at the funeral as well. So thank you very much.
Yeah, very nice to Carl and his wife.
Your partner,
yeah,
as well, Julie.
And Paul Bray turned up.
I really appreciate the guy's been saying to him who you are or where you are or what you did. But when you come on a platform, he extended his arm, and I like to think that moving forwards, we'll do that in his honor, and for many more fans of Arsenal, as well as Newcastle, as well as them down the road. I'm not going to say that. Fans, everyone's welcome. So I think for Alex, that's his lifelong legacy, is that we have good conversation and respectful. And one other thing I want to say is, guys, we are very good at masking when we are hurting. So your loved ones want you around longer. Get yourself checked out. It is a very difficult conversation with you around the table than you not around the table. So for myself, for my family, and everyone who's been affected by cancer, if you're willing to donate, make donations to those charities. If you get yourself checked because it really is important, because your family needs you around. So please, if this example is the fact that us guys, we're strong, but we can only be as strong as the people supporting us as well. So if you're not sure about talking to and get yourself checked out. And that's my honest wish.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Ralph.
that's
Yeah,
us.
it's something that
Okay.
we all have to look at.
Thank you, Glenn.
Pleasure, my
Thank you
man.
very much. Thank you, El Tal. We've got many more
Thanks, Ralph.
stories and yarns this one. We missed the banter, but Alex is there looking over us. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Let's continue with the banter.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
continue with another
Let's keep it
platform
going.
for WhatsApp,
I wanna end the
Instagram,
show.
Facebook.
I wanna end the show
YouTube,
that
wherever it
Alex
is.
ends the show always.
Keep going. Keep it going.
Remember when he ended the show, he looks to the side.
It does.
Yeah, I think Ralph is freezing again.
But look, let's have another few as many shows as possible. I've got lots of stories that we haven't even gone near yet, you know. And of course, the lovely thing about being an Arsenal fan is it's like an ongoing love, and new things happen, new challenges happen to our favourite team, and so listen, I'd love it if we could keep this going, and maybe if Ralph finds shows that he, you know, on the hard drive that he could reissue, you know, the really good ones would be that the one with the hats, the one with the submarine in it, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure there's lots more that would be well worth putting out again.
Cool. So
Yeah,
if that is it,
we'll do that.
thank you. Thank everybody in the chat. Thanks for your heartfelt messages, and I'm sure Ralph and the family appreciates all that. And thank you for those who will watch after the live show. Whatever messages, please keep it to the T. And also, again, this has been Cannon Fodder TV for all Arsenal fans around the world. Thank you for watching. Hey, Alex.
Beautiful. What a lovely